we are. But that's okay,
Oh,
though. That's all right. Oh, we're live. I always do this.
oh,
We always do this. We're live. Welcome back to Count the Bucket, ladies and
who
gentlemen.
knows how much you've heard of us, but you know
Yeah,
what? We're
you
here
know what?
anyways.
We're here. Me and Michael just talked about how different we are. So you probably got a riff of that. But my beautiful co-host Michael to my left. Oh, I'm so happy to have you back. The beard is growing and glowing. Your
I'm
son
thinking
is
about cutting it off, sadly.
why?
I mean, it's getting a little warm. I've had it for a
Oh,
while.
okay.
I don't know.
Is
There's
it
days when I'm
itchy?
just like, not too bad. I try to keep the underneath cut so it's not on my neck too bad. So it's not too bad, really. I've gotten used to it, but I have really curly hair and like I've got a couple gray hairs in here and like
Uh-oh.
I can see how curly it is. I'm like, well, it just looks weird. But you know what? Amber, how are we doing today?
I'm doing fine. The
Good,
most
good.
handsomest man in the NBA, according to Michael, is playing Devin
Book,
Booker.
not
Um,
just me. There's a lot. Let's be honest.
Mrs. Jenner, well, Miss Jenner will probably think the same thing because that is his girlfriend. So
We got good taste.
yeah, you guys got good taste. The Clippers and the Suns are playing right now in LA. So if I look up at my TV, guys, that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of glancing at that. But I'm so happy to have my wonderful co-host with me this week. A lot to get into.
Guys, just to be honest with you, like we were pretty much ready to go live at 10, maybe 5 after 10, but me and Amber, we just get talking about random things and just in life in general. And like we almost need to accidentally go live when we have our weird discussions just so that can actually be recorded. Like, guys, it gets out there, let me tell you. And it's all good stuff. Like it's very respectful what we talk about and how we see things different. But that's what makes the world or the flat earth go around. So
Yes.
yeah, I think it's just interesting.
Shout out to you, Kyrie. But I really think that people, when you understand the differences of human beings, and that just makes the world great. People don't understand other people's differences. So that's what makes it chaotic. People are just like, what? It can't be that way. It can only be this way. No, it can also be this way. So Michael and I get along and we love each other. And that's all you guys need to know.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
End of story. We love each other.
End of story. We love each other. We're going to start off with one sponsor, and then we're going to sprinkle them in. Guys, I'm going to remember the sprinkle. Michael, help me remember to sprinkle. Okay?
I got my paper folded here.
There we go.
I'm ready.
All right. The first one we're going to do is the Patreon. All right, guys. Let me share my screen.
Oh, I was about to pull it up.
Oh, okay. Well, I've got mine. Do you got yours? Oh, well.
Oh, go ahead. You got yours. I've seen it.
Okay. Patreon.com/Unwrap Sports. $1 a month. You become a fan. That'll be great, guys. $1 a month. We love it. We love you. $5 a month. Become part of the family. 10% off the Teespring shop, which Michael will get into sometime during the show. And then you get all access to the Discord chat, which has been going crazy and winning a lot of money here lately. Corey's been hot in the gambling. We'll talk about how you can win money doing that as well. Michael, were you going to say something?
I was just going to piggyback off that. Corey was in our chat with me and Perry, who is my co-host fill-in for Backstop Banter. Backstop Banter, shout out, 10 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. And Corey was chiming in because Perry, he's big into gambling, and I know nothing about it. I feel like I may know more than what I really put on, but I'm afraid to put that dough in there, And Perry was shouting out all these numbers. Corey chimed in and said, free money, everyone. Just won you $490 on a $10 bet if you would have been in our Discord from our Patreon and had access to it. So his parlay that he did won $490, and he chimed in because I was like, Perry, this next month, starting in July 1st, I want you to keep stat of how many bets you make, how many you win, and how much money you're above or below at the end of the month. And Corey chimed in again and was like, NBA this year alone, it was like 490 he won or had hit, and then there was like 460 that he had lost. And Perry again informed me, he said, as long as you're above 55%, you're actually like a shark. I was like, oh, okay, so that sounds pretty good.
Wow, that's a lot goes into gambling. A lot goes into it. But guys, if you want to be a part of that, join the Patreon. $10 a month, VIP.
Join the Patreon.
Join the Patreon, guys. Just join up. It's $5 a month. That's a Pandora subscription. You know what I mean?
There you go.
If you want no commercials on Pandora, but $10 a month is your VIP. I'm a part of the VIP package. You get 20% off the Teespring shop. Of course, all access to their Discord chat and signed memorabilia. signed memorabilia, and that is amazing. I know Perry will be sending me my jersey. He's been a busy man. I'm a patient woman, so I have a Keenan Allen jersey waiting on me. And as soon as I get it, guys, I'm going to frame it behind me because
there you go.
When I move, I'll have my woman cave, and I'm going to start a jersey collection. I'm just going to start a jersey collection. So
Not
guys,
to be sexist here, but is woman cave a thing? And if not, it needs to be.
It needs to be because I'm a sports head. So I'm going to have a sign that says woman cave, and I'll be probably the only one in there screaming at my 80-inch 4K TV and with my surround sound. That's okay.
Streaming the whole thing. That's all you got to do is just stream it.
I'm streaming now. My mom said, "We getting rid of cable." I said, "That's fine by me. We can stream everything. I'm perfectly fine with that." All right, guys, we're going to jump into this. The draft lottery. I don't know if Michael got to see the draft lottery. Did you get to see the draft lottery? I
was at work, but I was trying to Bleacher Report it like crazy.
Okay. I'm going to show you guys what happened with the draft lottery. As an OKC fan, I'm not too disappointed with our picks. I'm not too disappointed. There were high hopes that OKC would get a top 5 pick. There were very high hopes of that, but it didn't happen. So that's okay, guys. That's okay. OKC fans, it's okay that we did not get a top 5 pick. Do not lose yourself because we did not get a top 5 pick. Okay, we have enough picks, and it won't come up. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Now it is up. I'm going to share my screen. I want it. This is not. I want to show me.
Don't be selfish. Come on.
It won't show me the. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna show this part, Michael, and just be done with it because it wouldn't. My screen is just acting up here. All right.
Here, why don't you show yours? I'll see if I can pull it up too.
Can you see that, Michael?
I can see it, but I'd have to blow it up to be able to actually see it. But yeah, it's on there.
Okay, it's on there. Let me hide that. All right. So we're good. I blew mine up too. I blew mine up too. So here is the draft lottery order, guys. The Detroit Pistons got the number 1 overall pick. It's probably going to be Cade Cunningham. Troy Weaver came from the OKC branch. He joined the front office for the Pistons last season. So he should call Sam Preston and say, "Hey, Sam, who should I pick number 1?" Sam should say, "Troy, go ahead and take Cade Cunningham." The Rockets get number 2. Will this be Evan Mobley?
Don't know.
Possibly. And they're talking about Evan Mobley at 3 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but then that means you have to trade Jared Allen, which will probably make about $17 to $20 million next year. Mm-hmm. So what do you do there? Go ahead, Michael.
I think I got one that we can see a little bit better, if you don't mind. It's from the NBA, and it's 1 through 60.
Oh, 1 through 60. Okay.
Can you see it?
That up. Yeah, it cuts off at 19.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can scroll down though.
Okay, scroll. Okay, here we go. All right. So we got Detroit, Houston, Cleveland, Toronto, Orlando, OKC, Golden State from Minnesota, Orlando from Chicago. That Minnesota trade is the Andrew Wiggins trade. And then that Orlando is the Vucevic trade.
Vucevic. I about said Herman. Who was their big shooter?
Vucevic.
Okay. Yeah, they had one of probably 10 years ago that I was just thinking. I'm sorry. I'm talking out loud in my head. You're Apologies. Fine. Sacramento, number 9.
New Orleans, number 10, which Swing Cash was not very happy about that. Charlotte, 11. San Antonio, 12. Ooh, okay. San Antonio, Indiana, 13. Golden State, 14. That is your lottery. Okay, guys. The top 14 are lottery picks. Now, as I look at this as an OKC fan, we got 3 picks in the first round, right? With a very deep draft. I'm not disappointed. I am surprised Detroit got number 1 overall pick, right? And Toronto has a top 4 pick with the talent they have.
Yeah, that was very nice of them.
That's beautiful because I think Kyle Lowry might be gone. I'm thinking he might be gone. So it is now Fred VanVleet's team. Pretty much. Go ahead, Michael.
I'm just going to say I think it might be interesting to see who's available at that number 4 spot. That might be interesting to keep Lowry around, possibly. Maybe. But yeah, I'm leaning probably 70% that he's gone, but it could be like, hey, if we're getting this guy, I might want to stay a little bit longer, But, yeah, I always feel like the draft is rigged, or not that the lottery is rigged. I really do. I might be wrong. I'm feeling that way. But seeing Houston number 2, I kind of feel like it would have been a little bit of a in your face, it's rigged. So I'm kind of figured number 2 would be in there. If they'd been number 1, it'd be like, yeah, the season they had and everything's going on, obviously. So I feel like, and even the Cleveland too, like Cleveland's been number 1 for so many years, like it has to be somehow weighted for them. But I kind of feel like the 2, 3, and 4 spots are usually weighted where you don't expect it. Like number 1 is like, okay, we obviously can't give anyone that. So let's put them here, here, and here. Like even Lakers a few years back, everyone's like, oh, it's going to happen. And but they were always the number 2 when they had no chance of being that high. I'm a conspiracist. Leave me alone.
I am too. They used to show you the ping pong balls. They don't show the ping pong balls anymore. They just everything give you envelopes. Yeah, that's a little weird. But
sketchy.
Very sketchy.
As they say now, sus.
Yes. Oh, kids. The generation. Kids. Oh my goodness. But OKC fans were up in arms about the number 6 pick. They were like, oh my goodness. We wanted a top 5. I get it, guys. I get it. But we got 16 and 18.
And I love how 18, it reads Oklahoma City from Miami via the Clippers, Philadelphia, and Phoenix. Like, that is a crazy pick. That's went through 4 teams to get to OKC.
Sam Presti's been doing some work. He's been doing some damage, apparently. Every morning I wake up, I say, what has Sam Presti done today? And Kemba Walker, what are we going to do with Kemba? What is OKC going to do with Kemba? That could be another flip for another first-round pick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because let's be honest, we don't want Kemba, do we?
I would want Kemba if he was healthy.
But even with your team, I mean, that's a player that you would want. And I'm not being mean. Like, I like Kemba. He's still good, I think. But you got the Alexander is still there as your point guard, really. Like, what's Kemba even going to be doing? Is he just going to be to a veteran role here? You don't get him and not start him, right? If you're not trading him. Like, I feel like that has to be what's going on is you're trading him.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he's bought a house in OKC yet. Let me just put that out there.
So let's just talk about this for a second, if you're fine with it. Let's get a little bit greedy here for Oklahoma City. Let's say they're going to trade either their 16th or 18th pick this year. Let's just say they're going to combine it with Kemba to move up. How far up do you think they would move, or what team do you think would even be interested in Kemba? Because I don't think it's going to be like a Kemba for Orlando or anything like that, the 5 spot, but how do you think, or who do you think is looking for Kemba right now?
I would say Cleveland, because they're talking about getting rid of is it Garland? They're talking about getting rid of Garland.
Really? Okay.
So, Colin Sexton. They don't think Sexton and Garland can play with each other.
Like, right.
So, but Sexton and Shea, no. I think Cleveland wants to keep that pick, and I don't think they want to pay Jared Allen, and they want to get Evan Mobley if Houston don't take him at 2, because Houston can take Evan Mobley at 2 as well. I think Detroit's probably going to take Cade Cunningham. I think that's a lock. Houston has a choice. They can take Jalen Suggs, which if Cleveland moves on from Colin Sexton, they can take Suggs at 3. And then Houston can take Evan Mobley at 2. I think those top 3 teams don't want to trade with OKC. Toronto could be interesting because Toronto just flip back and take that 4th spot, that 6th spot, and get 16. I don't think Sam Presti will do that. I don't think he'll go 4-16, flop, give up another first-round pick. I don't think he's going to do that. Even though he has so many, it would have to be a very good trade. OG Anunoby, my friend threw this out there. He's one of the co-hosts on Thunder Coast to Coast. It's the guy that lives in Japan.
Kudos to you on the pronunciation, by the way. Like,
thank you.
Like spot on.
Thank you. I'm working on it, Michael. I'm working on it. So OG Anunoby is a person that OKC should look at. You can pair him and Shea together with Bazley and Dort. That would be beautiful on a perimeter. Mm-hmm. Is Toronto willing to give him up? I don't think so. But if OKC said, look, we'll give you 16. I don't think Anunoby's worth the first round pick, though. We'll swap you. We'll take pick 4, which I don't think pick 4 and 6 make that much of a difference. I think if Scotty Barnes is there, I think OKC's probably going to take Scotty Barnes. I think if Kuminga is there, I think OKC's going to take Kuminga. So I think they have so many options at 6, and they're pretty much in a good spot because Detroit, Houston, and Cleveland aren't moving because they need They need Toronto. If you move on from Lowry, you need a point guard, and you might take Suggs if he's there. But I think Cleveland takes Suggs because I think they'll move on from Sexton. But if Cleveland decides not to move on from Sexton, they keep Sexton. I think Toronto takes Suggs and they move on from Lowry.
What about Jalen Green? Because Bleacher Report, or I'm sorry, what am I on here? Hoopshype.com has the first 3 as their mock draft that they just released 7 hours ago. Mm-hmm. Cunningham number 1, Mobley number 2, and then 3 they've got Green. So they've got Cleveland taking Green, who is a guard 6'5" from the G League.
Yeah, they could take Green. I think that Jalen Suggs fits better with Cleveland. I think Jalen Green would fix it better with Toronto. You could do Jalen Green Toronto move.
I don't believe this, but it has like a little subtitle, I guess, if you will, a sub-note here. It says, latest news, the Athletics and the person name heard from multiple sources that the Pistons are fans of Green and could be an option at the number 1 overall.
I thought Cade Cunningham locked that up. I think he has that pretty much sold up, honestly. And if it's not number 1, it's definitely going to be number 2.
Yeah, he's not going to fall that far.
He's not going to fall down to 3. If he did, Cleveland would be licking their chops, but I think he's 1 or 2. He only worked out for Detroit. So his camp only had him work out for Detroit, Cade Cunningham. So they're assuming that he's going to be, the number 1 overall pick. And Zubac is holding his knee. Get up, Zubac. Get up. We don't need no more injuries. Okay, he got it. Good job, big fella. Good job.
Good job, big fella. You stood up. Good job, man.
Good job. Because he landed awkwardly. He landed very awkward after that foul from DeAndre Ayton. Those top 5 picks could pretty much shuffle. It just depends on your team need. It really does. I like Scotty Barnes at 6. I like Kuminga at 6 for OKC. There's a couple other draft prospects I need to look at. I know that Caleb would be happy that I like Scotty Barnes because he did go to Florida State. So he'd be very excited about that. But those top 5 are going to be interesting. Orlando's just completely rebuilding. Like they just got rid of everybody and said, hey, we're in for the rebuild. We don't have a coach yet. Pretty sure they'll hire a coach before, but we'll talk about coaching hires in a minute. They'll hire a coach before they draft. OKC had me sweating because they just was waiting all day to hire a coach, but they don't leak information. OKC is very good at not leaking information. You don't know anything that's going on in OKC until it happens, pretty much, until it happens. So top 5 picks, we all know. Now, this is where it gets interesting. This is where teams will probably start moving. Orlando has 2 top 10 picks. They need those. What does Golden State do with 7 and 14? Draymond Green made a statement. We want to win now. We're built to win now, right? They drafted James Wiseman at 2 last year. Could they package those picks and get somebody else at Golden State? I think they could. Stephen A. Smith said Ben Simmons to Golden State, which would be beautiful. That'd be gorgeous. If you want me to be completely honest, that'd be gorgeous.
If they got who?
Ben Simmons. If they told Philly, we will give you 7 in a second round, and give you Ben Simmons? You don't think they would do that? I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
Say that again now.
If they gave Philly 7, if they gave Philly the number 7 pick and said, give us Ben Simmons.
You mean straight up 7th pick for Ben Simmons? Man.
7th pick and maybe a second round?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. If I'm Golden State, I know that 76ers don't really want to keep Ben Simmons. They can say in the news headlines all they want. Ben Simmons is not going to be playing for the 76ers next year. The Philly fans are asking for his head. We know this. Mm-hmm. And you know when the fans turn, you either holler down their throats back at them, trust the process, or it's about to be haywired anyway. So Ben Simmons is not going to play for them next year. I don't care what they say. So I would know that, and I know other teams see what he looked like last year or this year during the playoffs, and I would offer them the least amount possible. So if I'm Golden State, I would go to my lower. But who's going to take him? Like, would you really want to take him right now?
You know what? I think a change of scenery in that Golden State offense works perfect for him because the ball constantly moves.
I agree. I actually think that he would be like a Draymond Green on that team. Like, this is all we need you to do, and you will excel. I think both of them play him at the 4 where he can still be point guard and make his passes because you got Steph doing his Steph stuff, and then you're going to actually have Clay back. So I think that would be great if he could be on that team. But I just don't think they're going to have to offer that much for him. I think Philadelphia may try to play hardball for a little bit, but I think that they would collapse on everything. I don't see any other team really making any kind of big moves for Ben Simmons. Like this offseason, our big thing is we're going for Ben Simmons. You know, I don't see that happening. So I don't think the market is going to be big for him because he can't shoot free throws and he can't shoot left-handed.
I mean, right-handed. Oh, well, yeah, left-handed.
He shoots left-handed. And then they're talking about he's going to try to switch that and go back to right-handed. Okay. So he's going to take all summer trying to erase 20-some years of shooting left-handed and switch it to right-hand. I don't see billionaires saying that's the guy I want. Midlife crisis of shooting with his other hand now.
But if you have a system that works for him, which Golden State does, why wouldn't you do it?
Oh, I would do it in a heartbeat, but I would also try to do as little as possible.
But Philly is not going to accept that. Philly is not going to accept anything less than a first round pick. I'm telling you right now, because of that contract that they have with him is kind of big.
Right.
Right. Philly is going to probably require either the 14th pick or the 7th pick.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would at least do the 14th. I wouldn't do the 7th. I would go 14th here. You can have this one. It's the second of our best.
Okay, 14 and second round. It's going to take 2 picks maybe to get Ben Simmons. Maybe. I don't know. It took 1 pick to get Russell. So Westbrook. So.
Wow. What pick was it?
It was a first round pick. I think Houston gave up. And then Houston ended up getting it back for James. All right. I don't know how it happened, but it's next season, I think. So Russell was a first round trade from Houston to Washington. Ben is worth first round trade. We know that. But what is Golden State willing to give? If they wanted to make their trade, right? If Golden State said, "Look, we want to make this work. We want Ben Simmons. We can fix him. Our offense works perfectly for him. We want to give up something."
They don't really need to change him to make him work.
I think it's confidence and change of scenery. Like I said, I think Philly. I think he's run his course. I honestly do. I think that unless they get a Kyle Lowry and can move him to that 4. And have that Kyle Lowry play the 1.
But then adding that position, I think you're going to take away from some of your younger guys that are proving themselves. Like, how are you going to get time for Maxey?
They don't have anybody at the 4, though. Maxey will come in and play that guard spot. Like, he'll still come in and get his guard minutes. Milton will still come in and get his guard minutes. So will Thibault. They don't have any bigs. The only bigs they really have is Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Dwight Howard. And they're not going to resign Dwight Howard.
Right.
Connie said definition of mid. Oh, Connie. Thank you for joining the chat, Connie.
And enjoy your vacation. He's actually down at the beach right now. I think he's trying to hit some golf balls, but, we need some live footage of this, Connie.
I would love live footage. Send the foot, Connie. Send it. I want to see it. I really want to see Connie's golf stroke. I was about to say stroke.
Good job.
But I forgot that I'm talking to men, so I said golf stroke. See, look at that.
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen,
I
lost it.
I know how to do it.
I lost it at work today. Like the worst sentence, it was a person's last name, and then the sentence that my part-timer said afterwards, I about choked on my Gatorade, and I just left. And I'm not going to go into details of what was said, but it was hilarious. Sometimes I do feel like my mind's in a middle school frame, but it happens.
Me too. I'm like that too, Michael, and I'm a woman, so that just tells you everything you need to know.
It's just funny. I don't know why.
I don't either, but
anyways,
we continue. The rest of these picks could be moved, could be shuffled. We'll see. But if Cade Cunningham drops past 3, I would be pleasantly not surprised. Well, it would not be pleasant, and it would be a huge surprise. How about that?
If he drops to 3, do you think OKC makes any kind of package to move up for him?
No, because if he drops to 3, Cleveland needs that. I'm telling you, those top 3 picks are probably solid unless you bring somebody crazy to the table, which the only free agent I could see out of those 3 towns is Houston, because Texas is great. No state tax. He didn't have a lot of fun in Houston. Ask James Harden. So Houston would probably be the only team out of that bunch that could probably get a free agent, right? More than likely, and say, hey, but you have to sell the idea of playing with John Wall, right? Just Jason Tate, he was a rookie last year. I'm missing the big name. What is his name? I forgot his name.
But they traded him.
Tall guy. I just drew a blank. He played for Detroit, had a good year. He was going to be most improved.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say Drummond.
He was going to be most improved. Oh, my goodness. Amber, how are you drawing this blank? Oh, my goodness. I got to look up the roster, and I'm going to be ticked off when I figure out I know his name.
Yeah.
You got Kevin Porter Jr. there. Christian Wood. So you have to sell the fact, okay, we have John Wall, Kevin Porter Jr., which played great, and Christian Wood. A free agent could say, that might look good, look enticing. But does Houston give up the number 2 overall pick because they're moving in a different direction? They're moving into a rebuild, I think.
Do you think they keep John Wall? Like, I almost.
His contract is huge. Can you trade that? I don't know. I don't know if they'll be able to trade that. Because if you trade John Wall in that contract, you're going to get another first-round pick. And that could restart your rebuild. Or you can look at it
Wall
and say,
to the Pelicans. Number 10.
So Houston and New Orleans swap?
No. They just get John Wall, and New Orleans gives Houston that number 10 pick.
New Orleans gives Houston a number 10 pick, and they get John Wall?
What do you think?
That could. Does John Wall fit New Orleans' timeline, though? And does New Orleans resign Lonzo Ball?
Well, I mean, if you were a good player, would you want to play in New Orleans right now if you could sign somewhere else?
I would want to play New Orleans, no.
I don't think anybody does, so I think they lose Ball.
Okay. You lose Ball, so I'm looking at this top 14. I can even go down and go Memphis, no. New York. They need a point guard.
No, they got Derrick Rose. Back off.
I know, but he's probably – you should start him, yes. Okay, we can – okay. Because I'm thinking of Derrick Rose in the 6-man role. I really am.
Which that's what he was this year too, a lot. I mean,
yeah. Although he plays starter minutes, and then you got Quickly there, so I don't know. But the rest of that doesn't look good. Indiana, I think they're young, they're cool. Golden State, he costs too much money for Golden State, I believe.
Indiana,
Indiana, I think Indiana's okay because I think they're young. You got Brogdon there. You got the Holiday brothers there. I think they're fine at that position. OKC, we got SGA and Kemba.
Yeah.
So he doesn't fit the timeline. So I think John Wall might stay in Houston unless something crazy happens on draft night, which could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know. Who does Memphis take at 17? A team that's made the playoffs back-to-back seasons.
And have that high of a pick, I like.
I like it too. I like it too. Taylor Jenkins does a great job there in Memphis. All right, guys, that was the draft lottery. We talked about some things, which is okay. Well, that's just what we do.
That's what we do. If you don't like it, still like us and do all that
Please.
whole 9 yards. We don't care.
Please do. Please do, guys. All right, we're going to move on, and we're going to go to new coaching hires. Oh, boy. All right, guys, there have been some new coaches being hired that have been hired. Portland's found their coach. Dallas has found their coach. Boston's found their coach. Washington and Orlando are speaking with candidates. And then New Orleans hasn't said anything about what they're doing. Will Bud keep his job in Milwaukee? You don't know. So
I think yes now, don't you?
if you
Well, let's wait. Because after beating them so bad like you did last game, if you come back and lose the series, I think you change.
and it shouldn't have took you 7 games to beat the Nets, and the Nets were beat up. Just imagine if the Nets had Kyrie Irving or James Harden. Either or. That series would have been over 5. I'm just being completely honest with you. You almost got beat in 7 on a one-legged James Harden and Kevin Durant. And a bunch of guys that struggled. Go ahead.
I still think that team was good. I said it even when they were playing. I still feel like the Nets had the better team.
You think
playoff team. That's me. I love Kevin Durant. As I dropped my pen, luckily I have 1,500 pens on my desk, so I got another one. But Kevin Durant by far, and I say this, everyone that watches this show knows I hate LeBron James as a player and a person and everything else. I would still take Kevin Durant over LeBron James today, last year, 10 years ago. I would, because you can give him the ball and he can get a bucket. LeBron, great passer. LeBron in his first 3 years, I love LeBron because he's a pass-first guy and I love the pass-first people. But Kevin Durant can get you that bucket. He can even get you an assist on that. Like, he is just that good. 7'1", can cross you up like a Allen Iverson, can score on you like a Tracy McGrady, and he can back you down like a Michael Jordan. I know that's kind of funny because Michael Jordan's shooting guard, but he had good post moves. Like, he is that all in one. So I don't care what the team is. If you got Kevin Durant, you are a good team. That's just me.
Hey, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I don't mind that.
Which means Amber disagrees with me.
No. I like Kevin Durant.
Yes.
Fan. I'm a huge Kevin Durant fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was probably one of the few people in OKC. Few people, Paul George and Devin Booker get into it. They just do not like each other. I probably was one of the few people in OKC that still loved Kevin Durant after he left. I'm telling you right now. He had a restaurant. They shut that down. They closed that down in OKC. And people just went sour on Kevin Durant. Like, oh my God, you went to the team that beat you. Da 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 da. I was like, yo, NBA is a business, right? It is a business first. They treat these players like a product. They don't even treat them like people. That's a whole nother conversation. So if I got to make the best business decision for me, I'm going to make it. And that's how you have to think about it. And that's how you have to look at it. But people don't understand it and don't get that. Draymond Green talked about that. Go ahead.
Breaking news. My wife just shared some pictures on Facebook of my family today. Look how cute.
Oh, God.
Look at those earrings.
Yes.
Oh, my.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Michael. Aren't you just full of joy?
That's other baby girl.
Oh. So you have 2 girls and 1 boy?
Yes.
Okay.
2 girls and 1 boy.
Okay.
He's my mini-me, just to be honest.
I mean, he's scoring 5 goals a game, Michael. The athletic gene had to come from somewhere, right?
I'm from mama. That's a lie. If you ever seen my wife do anything, you'd be like, okay, no, she's not athletic. I love you. She's in the next room.
Michael's anniversary. Be nice.
That's right.
Be nice.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for wishing me happy birthday. I appreciate that. I'm just going to go ahead and show you because this is how we are. This is me and my wife, and that's my son in the background because that's just his personality. Like, no matter what's going on, he's going to find a way to pop in there.
Look at Michael, the family man.
Look at him, just like me.
Oh, look at those cheeks. I just want to pinch those cheeks.
He's got cheeks and he's got some juicy lips, just going to be honest with you.
Oh, ladies are going to love it, Michael. You're going to have to fight him off with a stick in a couple of years. I'm just saying.
I know it.
I'm just saying. But people soured on Kevin Durant and OKC. I stuck with Kevin Durant because
Oh, yeah. We're live talking basketball here. Keep going.
I'm just a huge Kevin Durant fan. It's okay. We have family time. We do that on Count the Bucket. But that series in Milwaukee, we'll see how it goes with Atlanta. Okay. Coach Bud knows he's on the hot seat. So he knows, he knows he has to win this series. He has to win this series. Even though he got to the Eastern Conference Finals, do people look at that and say, oh, you played the Nets and it shouldn't have took you 7 games to beat the Nets? Or do people look at it as, okay, you beat the Nets, you swept the Heat, got revenge, okay, you came back, beat the Nets in 7, won game 7 on the road, okay. Is beating Atlanta enough? I think he has to beat Atlanta to keep his job. Honestly do.
I almost think that if they played Atlanta last series and they beat them and they lose to Brooklyn in this series, it'd have been okay. But the fact that they're playing Atlanta here with the history of the season, how it went, I think that's going to hold a little more, I'll say value to it, but more stricter on what's going to go on. And it's not fair. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's fair on that, but that's what I think is going to happen.
Does Giannis trust Coach Bud? You think?
I don't really know what's going on there, just to be honest with you. There's so much stuff that happens in the locker room that we will never know about. Like even today, I've been hearing some stuff about Coach Dallas, I about to say Cowboys, Dallas Mavericks, and Luka not seeing eye to eye on everything. Was it Carlisle?
Mm-hmm.
And how more or less he pretty much said that I could see that I was almost the underdog in the locker room now. That Luka had more pull than him, and he was like, I think it's just kind of time to bounce. And that's my words. He obviously didn't say that, but so I feel like there's a lot that goes on in the locker rooms, and the players have a lot more power than we really realize for these coaches.
Oh, yeah, they do. They make more than the coaches make. So I mean,
yeah.
We're not watching games to see the coaches. We're watching games to see the players. Which
you're right. I can't even make up any kind of lie on that. Yes.
I mean, you know what I mean? So it's.
I kind of think it's the same with Ben Simmons. It might just need to be a change of some sort there. Obviously, Giannis ain't going anywhere, but maybe you just need a change of atmosphere for the coach too to have a better luck, and then also just for the Bucks. If they don't win it here, I think for the system, for the city, they just need to go ahead and move on.
Yeah,
I'll be bold on that statement.
You have to get a coach that Giannis is going to believe in and trust.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Middleton have to sit down and say, look, this is who we believe in. This is who we're going to trust. And boom, we're going to make it work. So the Bucks, he might be safe, might not. We don't know. But Dallas hired a new coach. Portland hired a new coach. And Boston hired a new coach. I have strong opinions about the Portland and Dallas coaches.
You have a strong opinion about what?
The two coaches that Portland and Dallas hired. And it comes from a place that a lot of people don't know about. So I'll start on the Boston hire. I love it. Of course, he comes from the Spurs tree. I want to say Ime Udoka. He's Nigerian. I hope I'm saying his name right. Ime Udoka. He's been an assistant with the Spurs. He was an assistant for the Nets. And he's finally getting his chance. Thank goodness. He's finally getting his chance. And do you know who Nia Long is? You know who Nia Long is? You know who Nia Long is? Okay. Well, I'm
horrible with names.
Okay, that's her boyfriend. So a lot of people don't know that either, that he's been with Nia Long for a long time and they actually have a child together. But I like Ime Udoka. I love him because he comes from that Spurs tree. Mm-hmm. He's gonna help Brown and Tatum get over that hump. I'm just hoping they need a point guard and a big. Hopefully they get that. I don't know how they're going to get it, but hopefully they get it. Brad Stevens, of course, got promoted up. Danny Ainge stepped away. So I love the hire for Boston.
What do you think of John Wall there?
Trying to think. Because they're trying to figure out what to do. With
I
Marcus
think it
Smart.
would hurt him a little bit.
If
I don't
he
think
stays,
John Wall would be the best fit.
if he stayed healthy, I wouldn't mind that.
I think that'll take – I think now Boston is to the point where Tatum has taken over as a superstar. I think you bring John Wall in that, it'll hurt that a little bit and probably take some superstar-nism, if that's a word, from Tatum because John Wall is a ball-dominant kind of player, and he'll hinder that some. That's why him and Cousins –
I think they need a true point guard in Boston.
I think so.
Because you already have Brown and Tatum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. But let's see, Tatum will be healthy next season. Brown will be healthy next
Bring
season.
back Rondo.
It doesn't really fit the timeline though. You gotta think they're probably gonna go a little younger.
Who cares about timelines? I mean,
I know.
Rondo's been in the NBA for at least 18 years. He is the timeline.
Rondo is the timeline. I like it. I think Boston will probably look. I thought about Isaiah Thomas. I really did. He played in Boston. I thought about him, Isaiah Thomas. So the new head coach will have a lot to say about.
What about Ball?
Yes, that works.
I think that would actually be. I think that would be a good fit.
Mm-hmm. Lonzo Ball works, but now you need a big.
Al Horford. What are you talking about?
You need another big. You got Al Horford.
You need a big. Al Horford's there to be like the. I mean, he's just a veteran guy. I can't think of the Heat guy. Haslam.
Udonis Haslam, but he'll play. Yes. But Al Horford will play. He will.
Al Horford will play.
Yeah.
Haslam played this year for 3 minutes and got ejected. So I mean, back off. He played.
He played. He did. You got Robert Williams there too. Mm-hmm. So I like Robert Williams, but I think they need one more big. I think they need another solidified big. Could they go get Jared Allen? I love that.
That would be nice.
But I don't think he's too expensive. Do
you think Drummond will sign back with the Lakers?
Heck no.
So
I like him in Charlotte. Charlotte, go get him Charlotte.
Thank you. I've said it all year. That's where you should have went. But what if Drummond went to Celtics? I mean, especially if you got Ball who goes there and you got your other two wings.
Too much money on the books because you're going to have to pay Ball. You're going to have to pay Drummond.
Drummond took a veteran contract here, didn't he?
Yeah, to win a championship, to play with LeBron.
To play with LeBron and not win a championship. So
well, yeah, but he's not going to take a veteran. The only reason why he got traded. He didn't take a veteran contract. He got traded, so he was still making his money.
He got let go. They released him, didn't they?
Yeah, they released him, but I don't know if he still was getting paid the money he was getting paid.
I'm pretty sure they released him and he took the minimum to sign with the Lakers.
He's not going to take a minimum. Andre Drummond's going to get his payday. I wouldn't take another minimum if I was Andre Drummond. Not this go around. He hasn't got his big payday yet.
I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I'm average Joe, so me saying that I wouldn't take the full money so I could get a ring is totally different because they deserve what they're doing. But, I mean, me making like $30,000 a year. Oh yeah, I wouldn't take an extra $1 million because I'm living on way less than that anyway. So it's totally different. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see him as a Charlotte, and we're probably getting way off topic what we probably should even be on, really. But I think Celtics, if they do make a move for Ball, big man, like you're saying, to be their next fill, and I think Drummond will be a wonderful fit there, really, if they can afford him.
If they can afford it, they got to pay.
Right.
Yeah, you got to pay Ball, and you already paid Jaylen Brown. You already paid Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
So that's going to be dicey, but you can go get Lonzo Ball. You go get Lonzo Ball. So what will Udoka do there? Him and Brad Stevens will come together and think about something. Go ahead.
We need to start writing some of this stuff down. Be like, you know what? This would be something great. And then let's see if it ever hits. Like Alonzo Ball, what if he went to Boston and we called it from like 3 weeks later?
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
That would be.
All right, let's move on. The Dallas Mavericks hired Jason Kidd.
Can I talk first?
Mm-hmm.
Can I please talk first?
Yes.
Yay! Hey, Jason Kidd, I'm so happy he's a head coach again, and he's coaching the team that he won a ring for. My favorite player in the NBA. Okay, now go ahead and destroy him because I know you don't like him and totally understand, and it's fitting because I didn't know all that until we started talking about it. But he's my favorite player. Okay, we all deserve second chances.
It's okay. He's gotten second, third, and fourth.
Or fourth. Yeah. You know what? Thank you, Jesus, for understanding my failures and still dying on the cross for my sins that I'm going to still commit. So
there you go. That's all you
I just want to have faith that he's lined himself out, and Jason Kidd is only going to knock water from cups over so he can get a little more of timeouts now. That's it.
That's it. I'm not. People think that I'm bashing Jason Kidd. I would never bash another human being. That's not what I do as a human. I respect everybody. I don't judge others. But it seems like professionals, it doesn't matter white, black, indifferent. When they do something wrong, they have so much money and power, it gets swept underneath the rug, right? It gets swept under. And it's very difficult as a woman to see that. And you have other female candidates that are out there, and you see a man get hired that has a history of abusing women. So it's in alcoholism, which, Jalen Rose talked about his alcoholism and how he's been clean and sober and things like that. So congratulations to you, Jalen Rose. But
didn't Jalen Rose even go on Twitter and say that the new coach for Boston was the first black coach they ever had?
That was Jason Williams.
It was Jason Williams. That's right.
Yeah, okay. Jalen Rose wouldn't.
Apologies. I apologize.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm sorry, Rose.
For me, it's alarming. We talked about this on Step Back Sisterhoods because it's a podcast of 4 women, and we had our reservations about him and Chauncey Billups. We'll get to Chauncey Billups in a minute. And we just talked about how it just seems as if you're a celebrity or if you have money and you're in this position that if you do things in your past, they get swept underneath the rug. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yes, people deserve a second chance, but he's been in the NBA for a while, and just think that his ex-wife has to see that and deal with that and look at that, and she has past trauma and he's still making millions. That's my biggest issue. Is I know women that have dealt with domestic violence, and they have said that men can continue on with their lives like nothing ever happened, but we still deal with the past trauma, and that's very deep. So they hired him. Congratulations to you, Jason Kidd. I don't have anything against you.
Yay!
It's my favorite player. Congratulations to you, but I'm going to always have my reservations because I'm a woman and I see things a little differently than other people do. And you can see it on Twitter. A lot of women that I follow on Twitter were saying that they couldn't believe it. I mean, they were like, what? But, he was hired for the Bucks, and then, he got a job with the Lakers. So he's been getting jobs. And his ex-wife is probably still dealing with past trauma. So,
see, I need, as a self, need to look into what exactly all went on. Because, like I said, he's my favorite player in the NBA. I love how he passes first, and the plays that he makes is wonderful. But from hearing it, I've only heard it from you. I don't know what even happened. Now, I'm not saying that you're lying to me, but I think a lot of times we need to do our own research and look how deep things really happen to, And I need to do it myself. For all men, I guess, in a way that, I am high on Jason Kidd, but if there's more that I don't know, I mean, I should be looking at that myself too, and in respect for everyone as well. So I'll try to, by next show, look more into it and see how it goes. Because I think it's crazy, and I've always said this, like, I always heard that Ray Lewis, one of the biggest football players ever, actually went to jail for murder before he won.
Got off. Yeah.
We're live. So it blows my mind how things can go. And then, even I'm sticking with football a little bit, like I want to say it was Ray Rice that had the video where he knocked that girl out on the elevator, and he didn't get a second day of a job after that. But then we hear of other abuses that go on, and it's just like, okay, well, it wasn't as extreme. Like, who's the judge to say how that goes, Yeah. So it's almost, we're not consistent on, I'll say that. And again, I don't know what all's went on. I didn't know Chauncey Billups. I'm eager to hear what you're about to say on him because I didn't know that either. But yeah, so I'm just gonna zip it and listen to you now. Go.
Oh well, with the Ray Rice thing, the NFL had that tape for months and didn't release it. They had it and waited to release it. Like, what? Are you serious? Are you kidding me? So they got on to Roger Goodell about that. Like, how do you drop the ball on it? How do you have film and tape from months of a woman getting abused? And Ray Rice is a big guy. He's a big guy. You see how small she was compared to him?
I mean, I'm not trying to make any kind of jokes at it, but like he literally laid her out.
Yeah. And you had that from months.
Excuse me. Went down
months. Michael? That was ridiculous. That's somebody's daughter. That's someone's mother. You know what I mean? And it's it's alarming to see. But I'm not knocking Jason Kidd. Step Back Sisterhood. We're probably going to get deep into it. Do your research on Jason Kidd. But I knew about that because when I was watching the NBA, this was probably before Twitter and everything happened. There were allegations about what he was doing. And he admitted, like, yeah, I have an alcohol problem. Yes, I have an anger problem. So you should look into it. I don't want to get into it and spoil it for you, but I want you to just read up on it. And then Portland, we knew this was a smokescreen that Becky Hammon was a finalist and We knew that was a smokescreen. She deserves a job. She's been an assistant for 7 years under the Spurs, won a summer league championship with the Spurs. But if Pop walks away and gives Becky Hammon that job, I would love that. I think that's probably what's going to happen in San Antonio, honestly. But she's been interviewing for head coaching jobs. I'm happy about that. Oh, Indiana hired a coach too. We'll talk about Rick Carlisle in a minute as well. Mm-hmm. But Portland hired Chauncey Billups. And Portland hired Chauncey Billups. I'll let you go first.
Well, I'm afraid to say anything because, again, all I know of him.
No, go ahead, Michael. It's count the bucket. Give your opinion. I want to hear it, Michael. Go.
Well, but my opinion may not know all the information, so I'm just going to speak of what I do know. I think Chauncey Billups is a very smart guy, X's and O's in basketball. He was considered to take over the Cavaliers front office a couple years back. And was smart enough to turn it down because LeBron was leaving and it's about to fall apart. So, I mean, if you're looking at him for a front office, he has to be well respected through the players and the whole 9 yards of that. Mm-hmm. A great coach. He's done his time everywhere in some form of fashion. I like him, but I don't know. I'm afraid to say yay to him until you tell me.
No, Michael. I want you to go ahead and give your praise. I'm going to give him some praise too, like I gave Jason Kidd praise.
Yay. Yeah,
I gave Jason Kidd. You said as loud and boldly as you want to, Michael. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, I'm more of a Jason Kidd fan, so I mean,
okay.
Billups, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was a huge Chauncey Billups fan. I mean, I still am. I like Chauncey Billups as a player. I know how to separate the player from the man too. Like you separate the artist from the art.
Well, see, that's me. I see them as a player. I don't know them as everyday people.
Yeah. So. And I don't know him as a person either. As an everyday person either. But he does have rape allegations that stem back. I think it was 97. I want to say. Oh boy.
So that's while he was playing then.
Mm-hmm. While he was playing, there were some rape allegations there. So a lot of women, like I follow a lot of women in sports. So I knew about them. I kind of knew a little bit about them, but they really they talked about it a little bit. And they didn't like the fact that they said, oh, yeah, Becky Hammon's a finalist. And then it was pretty much a smokescreen, which we knew was a smokescreen, just to say she was a finalist, just to say that they did it. We interviewed her. Dame, I guess, backed Chauncey Billups, I guess. But it makes sense because he's a former point guard. He's an NBA champion. It makes sense for him to back him. That makes complete sense to me. Like, I don't have a problem with him backing him. A lot of these NBA players, they see things from different perspectives than we do because they're in the league. They know what league life is like. We don't. Mm-hmm. So when he backed Jason Kidd as well, like I said, he knew what league life is like. We don't. He backed Chauncey Billups, and a lot of people were like, what? So there are a lot of Portland fans that are still kind of iffy about that. Not just women, but Portland fans in general. about Chauncey Billups. So those were rape allegations, but I don't take that lightly because I know victims of that same horrendous crime. I know victims of abuse and rape, and it's just, I just have a really soft spot for those type of crimes because I know someone that is personally, I know people that are personally affected by it. And it's really hard to talk about at times, but I don't know too much about Chauncey Billups, the Chauncey Billups story. I just know what I've seen on Twitter and what people have told me on Twitter. I'm going to do more research on Chauncey Billups as well. I heard about it, but I'm going to dive deep into it, if that makes sense, to get a better understanding of what happened. But it's touchy subjects for women, and they've been going off on Twitter. My timeline has really been like, what? Like,
and see, I want to ask questions or kind of say things, but as a man, I don't want it to be like I'm desensitizing things or not respecting different things. So I'm trying not to go deep into it because, I mean, you know what can go on all this stuff, and it's really a sensitive subject any way you go about it. And I'll obviously, I think you know this from our talks before, that I think we can have these talks, and I mean it by the most respect at possible, especially because my two girls, I would never want anything like that to happen. I would probably go to jail if something like that happened, just to be truthful.
I'll bail you out. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. So I think it's just one of those things. It's hard to really know the bottom truth of what all went on, no matter what. And it always, like you said before, the rugs are where you look for all this cash. That's all I can say. I don't know how it goes on.
Yeah, it gets swept. A lot of things get swept underneath the rug. Like remember Andy Reid's son killed somebody before the Super Bowl? Or he put somebody in a hospital.
What?
Drunk driving? Yeah, Andy Reid's son. You didn't know that?
No. I don't pay attention to the news part, I guess.
Okay, Andy Reid's son was drunk driving, and was it a kid in the hospital? It's on the internet. It took them forever for that story to come out.
Was it this year?
Oh yeah, Kansas City played Tampa in the Super Bowl this season.
Right. Wow. How did I miss that?
Yeah, and Jim Boeheim had vehicular manslaughter, the Syracuse head coach.
Oh wait, I did know that. Yes, because he was drunk on that one, right?
Yeah, and they got swept underneath the rug too, because we haven't heard anything else about that.
Yeah.
So,
which I'm biased there. He's actually married to a woman, actually from where I live. So,
oh wow,
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I hate Syracuse.
But see how things happen, and everybody's just like, shh, like we can't talk about it.
Don't talk about
Don't talk about it. Like humans, like you see what I'm saying about human life and how it's not valued. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just, if you have money, your money matters, your power matters more than a human being.
It really does. I mean, that's even, I'm going to drop this as low as I can, really. Like, even in school, like growing up in high school or grade school, like your athletes who had stuff going on did not have to do stuff in school because of that. Like, I mean, they have quote unquote power because of this, and it's pitiful, really. Like, I mean, we're paying these athletes millions of dollars to sadly just entertain us. I mean, they're trying to win championships, but the owners are really just wanting to sell seats so they can get more money. But at the same time, we can turn a blind eye on so many different smacks to the hand, and that's just it. It's really sad of mankind, if you really think about it, how we accept things.
We do, and we accept it because we rather be entertained than educated most of the time. So that all that glitz and glamour can boggle you down, and you can see it all and be like, wow, that's beautiful. But you don't know the backstory. You don't know what that wife in the NBA is going through. You have no clue how many sleepless nights she's had, how many nights she's cried because her husband has another man or has another family. You know what I mean? You just never know. But
then again, and I'm going to kind of be gullible here, I guess, a little bit. We don't know, too. They made the mistake as far as the man, and this incident turned them around where, as a spiritual man, they found Jesus, turned their life around. They deserve that second chance, But I also think if that were the case, somehow that they would be going back and say, hey, listen, I know I did this. Let me try to help out in some way. I know I would have a guilty conscience, like, constantly on me. Like, I couldn't live with myself, but two would be like, okay, listen, I know, we'll say for Jason Kidd, who is divorced now, kids there, I'm sure, okay, I just signed this multi-million dollar or whatever, here's some money to help out because I did not treat you right. I don't know how they couldn't do that, but I have a conscience.
Yeah, and it's tough because I'm going to say this from a woman's perspective. These athletes throw money at the situation so that we can, okay, ignore it. I bought you a bag. I cheated on you. I bought you a bag. Oh, you should be happy. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant bought the big old diamond after he cheated. I mean, yes. and they, well, I mean, it happens. It really happens.
And people throw money at every situation and think it's going to be better, but it's not. It's still the emotional trauma. You know what I mean? It's still, I have to think about that, or I have to see your outside kids, or you're bringing this woman to the game, or I still have to relive that trauma of you, and I'm still triggered by it. I might be going to therapy, but I'm still triggered in some type of way. So it's a lot to deal with. Human trauma is nothing to play with. Human trauma is real. Let me tell you, it's real.
And I just think, and this is going way far, but it just popped in my head. I work with a guy who is ex-military. Thank you guys, everyone that ever served for a country for whatever you did on that. Mm-hmm. And just hear some of the stories that they've go through for the trauma. We have no idea what they go through too.
Yeah.
I mean, really, mental health is such a big thing.
It is.
Guys, anyone watching this, we're just going to throw this out here if you don't mind. Talk to somebody. If you're going through a situation, talk to somebody. And this is a broad spectrum there. If it's through anything that Amber has mentioned, I've mentioned on this. And heck, even if you want to talk to us, I know it's crazy. I don't know you. Go to my Twitter, send me a message, MDLawson00. I promise you I will act like a friend. I will listen to you. I love actually talking to people and trying to be there for them. That's something I really enjoy. So, and I'm sure, Amber, you're the same way on that too.
Yeah, I do. It gets draining at times because I'm going through my own stuff. But at this point in my life, we have different points in our life where we can accept other human behavior. Right now, I can't accept too much weight but my own because I'm going through what I'm going through in life. So I have time periods in my life. Okay, yeah, I can accept getting a lot in, but I have so much going on that I can't accept that right now. But I'm open in telling you that, right? A lot of people won't tell you that. A lot of people are like, oh, yeah, you can come talk to me. A lot of people are like, yeah. And they'll ignore what they're going through just to help you. I'm not going to ignore what I'm going through just to help you because I have so much that I'm going through.
And that makes perfect sense. And it's upfront. I like that.
Yeah, very upfront. Devin Booker had just fouled out. So Devin Booker has fouled out. Sorry, Michael. Just to let you know. Pat Beverly got the charge call and they won the challenge. The ref called it a block at first, but then Ty Lue challenged it and won that call. So Devin Booker has fouled out. So we'll see if the Suns can close this out without Devin Booker, which I think they can. They still have Chris Paul. They're up 79-74. They are now up 76-79 with 58 seconds left. So you still got Chris Paul on the floor. You're up 3. I trust it. Terrence Mann hit a tough layup on that pick and roll with Paul George. He's asking for a foul. But Portland got a new coach. Dallas got a new coach. Boston got a new coach. Indiana has a new coach. And Rick Carlisle, he goes back to Indiana. How are you feeling about Rick Carlisle?
I like Carlisle, actually. I think this Indiana Pacers, I think it's actually going to be nice for him. I think he's already that's actually the show I was listening to on one of the podcasts. We're talking to him and it said, they asked, well, why did you leave Dallas? And he's like, well, let's not even talk about old negative stuff. So I'm here to talk about Pacers and we're moving forward. I like that demeanor to thinking only positive and thinking ahead, don't look and dwell in the past. So, and the things that he's done in Dallas in so many different years, he can prove that he can make teams better than actually what they probably are in certain situations. So I think the Pacers with the young guys that they got, Sabonis there, I think it's going to be take him back to being an all-star, which he was an all-star this year. I think he's just going to keep playing, getting better. The Holiday brothers, like you said, too. I mean, I use the word excited a lot, but I'm intrigued to see how this plays out here for the Pacers. About to say Pistons.
They have a great roster. TJ Warren will be healthy.
Warren, too, yeah.
Miles Turner, what do you do with him? What do you do with Miles Turner? Oh, man.
I don't know on that one. Like years past, he's been great. I feel like I don't know if Father Time's catching up with him a little bit or what.
He was just injured last year. I think that was it, because he was in the defensive player of the year running, because he led the league in blocks actually, and then he got hurt.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they make some kind of deal with Boston that needs a big man.
Yeah, that would be perfect for Boston, I think.
Mm-hmm. I don't think East teams that close will make any kind of deals though.
Yeah, because when TJ Warren comes back full strength, Holiday Brothers, Brogdon, TJ Warren, you got Sabonis there. That's a good team. Indiana is a decent team when you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And when you put Rick Carlisle in that position, Bjorkman, I hope I'm saying his name right. Bjorkman.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to correct you because where I live.
Bjorkman. I think that's his name. Bjorkman.
Yes.
I think that's what his name is. He's going to help Nick Nurse with Team Canada for the I think the Olympics or something like that. But he's going to be on his coaching staff, Nick Nurse's coaching staff. Ball game. Mm-hmm. Oh, Chris Paul missed it. DeAndre Ayton is battling on those boards. Jump ball. They don't know whose possession. It's 17.4 seconds left. The Clippers are down by 3. It is 79-76. This is a 1980s basketball game.
When you said 79 to 70 something there, I was like, wait, and how much time's left? That is crazy. In the fourth quarter alone,
and
both teams have only scored 20 points.
Yeah, it's been a struggle offensively for everybody. I think that's off from Mikal Bridges. Go ahead.
I want to ask you this, since we're kind of talking high on Rick and the Pacers.
Rick. Yeah.
Where do you think they finish right now next year in the Eastern Conference?
With or without Miles Turner, though?
You pick whichever one you want, or both.
We'll go both. With Miles Turner, I got to see. Okay, Brooklyn's going to be healthy. I think Brooklyn will be the top team. What does Philly do with Joel Embiid? Do they get Kyle Lowry? What do they do there? Boston. Does Boston get a point guard, get a big? We don't know. Atlanta's probably going to get better because Cam Reddish will be back. You have Okongwu with another year under his belt. Trae Young with another year under his belt. What do you do with Lou Williams? I'm not quite sure. Gallinari, what do you do there? Bogey's still there. Herter's still there. Indiana's not going anywhere. New York needs a 25-point per game scorer. New York needs that guy. I think the New York Knicks get that guy in the offseason. I'm calling it now. New York Knicks get better. So where do you fit in, right? Those teams, Milwaukee will be Milwaukee. They will still be one of those top teams. Toronto has a top 4 pick. Toronto will be better. Where do you see yourself falling in that? I say they're a playoff team. I say they're a top 8 team. It just seems like the East is getting younger and the teams are getting better, right? Everybody around you is getting better. That's what's wrong with the Pelicans. Everybody around them got better and they didn't. Mm-hmm. There's no way Memphis should make the playoffs over you. But guess what? They did 2 years in a row. You had the playoffs handed to you on a silver platter during the bubble last season and you still fumbled it, right? You had the playoffs pretty much handed to you right now back this season because they gave you all the TV games you could have ever wanted, right? Gave you a new head coach in Stan Van Gundy. And you still disappointed. So when teams around you get better, you also have to get better. And I think the Knicks will go get that player. Who wouldn't want to go play for the Knicks? They were fun to watch. Did you see MSG during playoff time?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. But I think Indiana's a playoff team. Without Miles Turner, depending on what they can get from Miles Turner, I still think they can be a playoff team because I trust in Rick Carlisle.
So what I'm hearing is if you were to go to mybookie.ag and use the promo code on your first deposit using the code USN100 and it'll double your first deposit, whatever you deposit, we will match up to $1,000. That if there was a bet that the Pacers would make it to the playoffs, you would put money on that. Is that correct?
Yes, you would.
All right, guys. So you heard it there from Amber. Go to mybookie.ag. Check out this website that should be showing up here and use promo code USN100 for your first deposit, and we will match it dollar for dollar up to $1,000. Not we as me and Amber, but as Unwrapped Sports Network.
There we go. Good plug in there, Michael.
Thank you. I tried on that one.
You're almost good as Colin Coward. Almost good.
I'm
Almost.
going to work on it.
You're
I'm going to
work
get
on
there.
it. His plugins are amazing. But what do you think about their playoff chances?
You know, we mentioned a lot of teams, and we didn't even say Miami Heat,
Oh,
and
yeah,
we
the
didn't
Miami-
even mention Charlotte Hornets in there too.
Oh my goodness, I forgot about those two teams. How did I
So
forget
the
about those two?
East
It's
are
getting better.
looking really good.
It's getting better.
We think next year, without anything changing, Brooklyn's going to be number one on both teams because we know this team is that good if they can stay healthy, but they're still going to miss.
They weren't healthy this year. They were still the number 2.
Yeah. So I would say right now, Brooklyn 1. I'm going to go ahead and say Bucks 2 just because of the way we're looking right now. I'm going to say – I really want to say the Sixers 3, but we don't know what's going to go on there, and I just don't trust that process. It has not panned out. But I'm going to say 76ers 3 because they had a much better year. Embiid was hurt some of the year, and it hurt him quite a bit, the team there. I want to say Miami at 5, but Atlanta has looked good, so I'm going to say Atlanta at 5, Miami at 6. I'm going to say Charlotte at 7, and New York at 8. I'm going to say the Pacers has a chance to be out. Maybe if they do the play-in that they make it. I just don't know. I don't see any kind of moves that's going to make teams players want to go to Pacers, but I do have faith in Carlisle can take the 8th spot, just in coaching ability with his guys.
Okay.
So I'm going to say they're still out.
Still out. Okay. That could be a strong possibility. I just trust Rick Carlisle, man. I just have faith. He showed me time and time again that he can take a roster and develop it and make it a playoff
He
team.
can take Dirk and beat LeBron, Bosh, and Wade.
And Jason Terry. You know what I mean? He had a nice little squad there. Little squad.
Was Ray Allen on the team too?
No, Ray Allen wasn't. Oh, he was.
Okay.
No, he wasn't on the team. Ray Allen was. Where was Ray Allen at?
I think he retired, and that's why they got Jason Terry to be the Ray Allen.
Ray Allen didn't play for the Mavs. He never played for the Mavs.
No, I meant the Heat with Bosh and Wade and LeBron.
Ray Allen was not with the Heat. Yeah, he was still with Boston because that was 2011 when they won it. When they said 2010, 20. When did they win it? 2010.
I've got 3 kids. I don't even know what day their birthday is.
Uh-oh.
That's a lie. I actually do. 7 seconds to go. Down by 2.
Yeah.
Clippers are down by 2. Sorry.
My TV's behind, so you're ahead of me.
Oh, no, it's Bleacher Report. Just so you know. Chris Paul is shooting free throws, made 1 of 2. He hasn't shot the second one.
Okay. I'm just now seeing Chris Paul shoot free throws. So
okay.
You're ahead of me. Okay, he made the first one. I saw that one.
Well, I will tell you this. He made the second one, so they're down by 3, 7 seconds left. Their ball. I'm sure there's going to be a timeout. There's going to be 2 little curl around picks going before the inbounds and hit the third person for a pump fake pass to the inbounder 3. We're going to end the game there. You thought I was going to say overtime. It's not going to overtime.
Okay, it's not
going to steal it. No.
Okay. I like the predictions there, Michael. I like them. But with Indiana, I like that. I like the Rick Carlisle hire. I do. I love it. We don't know what Orlando's going to do, Washington or New Orleans. Those teams are still left to kind of figure out what they want to do with head coaches. But if you were a head coach, which job intrigues you more? Washington, New Orleans, or Orlando? Mind you, Orlando has 2 top 10 picks.
Washington is not in the question. I would want to say right now probably the Pelicans, but I just don't see a future there. So I would be tempted to go to Orlando because I would have to – if for them to hire me, I had to say, listen, we've got these picks. I want to say in these picks. I want to have a say in our future, and I'm going to make it happen. So pick me, and let me help you pick these of the guys I want, and I would go to Orlando. Because, again, I don't think they're going to keep Ball. I think he's going to be going to the Celtics. Write it down, put it in your Rolodex for when it happens. You'll see it. So I think they lose him. I mean, Zion has not been the star that we expected to see. I know he was hurt.
He put up the numbers. They just don't equate to wins.
I mean, it just it's. I just feel like it's almost like a smokescreen of his numbers. Like it's not. We expected the next LeBron James from him. He may be getting some good numbers, but I'm sorry. Like if you score 25 points now in a game, it's like scoring 10 points in the 90s. It's not that big. Like we're scoring 120 some points, except for today's game that may not even break 82. But it's just, I feel like the numbers are inflated a little bit. Now I'm not taking anything at all away from Westbrook's triple doubles. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
I don't know if there's anything going on in the game. Okay.
Yeah, it's going on. Paul George has missed a free throw. That's all I've seen.
Just how many has he missed?
1.
Okay.
That tells me everything I need to know, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry. As I asked that, I went, how crap.
It's okay, Michael. It's all good. It's all good.
That's pitiful. I'm
Steve
sorry.
Steve Ballmer looked deflated when he missed that.
Because didn't Paul George miss a very important free throw last game too?
He missed 2 free throws.
And then they got the alley-oop to win it. The Suns did, right?
Yep.
Paul George, you'll get that playoff P back. Come on, man.
Oh, wow.
He's been so good, but if he keeps missing these free throws, it's back.
Yeah, I know. And I root for Paul George.
I love Paul George. He's one of my favorite players.
I love me some PG, man. It's just now DeMarcus Cousins is shooting. He hits the first. Okay, don't tell me.
Yeah, that's the only thing I've got so far. I just thought it was funny that Cousins can make a free throw, but Paul George can't.
Okay. And he's cold. He hasn't played all game.
Do you think Cousins misses the second one on purpose?
You have to, because if you put Chris Paul at the line, he's not going to miss.
Yeah, you're losing time here.
You got to hit the rim. So he messed that up.
Did he? You
can't hit the backboard. You got to hit the rim. So, Suns ball.
Oh, did he try to miss it on purpose?
Yeah, and he hit the rim. He hit the backboard and I hit the rim. You got to hit the rim. You know that. DeMarcus.
Amber, that is so hard to do still, though. Come on. He's trying to throw it hard to bounce back.
Is he a professional athlete, Michael?
Is he a professional rim hitter to get the rebound like that?
Because when you shoot, you shoot for the front of the rim, right?
Have you ever successfully threw the ball off of the rim at a free throw and got the rebound, or your offense gets a rebound?
I've successfully thrown the ball off the front of the rim. Yes, that's not hard.
During a game,
you can hit it off the back of the rim. You can hit it off the side because you just change your shooting form, right?
Listen, if I tried to do that, if I tried to hit the rim, I would either hit the backboard or I would make it. Somehow I would just accidentally make it. It's harder than you think. Actually, that's a side story. I'm not going to go into it.
It's not. Because all he has to do is shoot it long. Shoot it long, hit the back of the rim.
But he's trying to do it fast to get him off guard. I'm sure he got the ball. And again, guys, I'm not seeing the game because I don't have a TV in here. I'm sure he got the ball and was like, okay. And did it fast to try to get everyone off guard. And he made that noise too, I guarantee it, to try to get the rebound quick.
You think he made the noise, Michael?
Yeah, totally.
See, Chris Paul missed that one. And then they fouled Paul George. Chris Paul split free throws. He doesn't do that. This is a long 7 seconds, let me tell you. Torrey Craig fouls Paul George. But, guys, those are the coaching hires, okay?
We're trying to stay on schedule here, guys, but there's a lot going on.
We are. Western Conference Finals. We can just segue to this because we're watching it.
There we go.
We're watching it. Clippers are down 2-1. They're trying not to be down 3-1 because when you go back to Phoenix, that's going to be a tall task because I don't think Kawhi's coming back. I think he's probably going to end up having surgery on that ACL. They just haven't announced it yet. Paul George makes the first. Now he has to miss the second. Oh boy. Here we go again, Michael. I don't want to see your face. I do not want to see your face, Michael.
That hurt my feelings.
Because I know you're ahead of me and you're making faces. And I can kind of distinguish. What are they doing? Taking all day to shoot free throws. Block him out. There you go, Mikal Bridges. Get next to Marcus Morris. See how Paul George missed that?
I like this. Somebody just put a tweet on it, and it pops up Bleacher Report. It's Mark Stein, if you ever follow him.
Yep, I do.
Says no one closing well. Suns, Clippers, or officials.
There's been some questionable calls in this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
That have been, and it's just a knockout, drag out fight. Looks like the Suns are gonna probably win this game. Chris Paul.
Can you imagine the atmosphere in Phoenix
for Game 5?
3-1.
That's why I said what I said. That's why I said they cannot go down 3-1. They cannot. And go back to Phoenix. Mm-hmm. That's tough because that crowd in Phoenix is rocking, man.
Because this is the best team that they've probably ever had. They had some good runs and everything like this. It's okay. Let me back up a little bit. Let's say it's the best team they've had in a decade that they can actually cheer about. We know the Steve Nash and all that was really good, but this is their shot. They are finally the favorites to win it all now. So yeah, I think Suns in 4 guy is definitely going to have like front row seats to this game somehow.
Yep, and that's ball game because Chris Paul hit 2 free throws. There's 1.3 seconds left. They're just going to let Reggie Jackson shoot, and he misses, and Suns go up 3-1. Now, I know Charles Barkley is cheering hard because I think when's the last time the Suns won the Western Conference Finals? Let me see. Did Steve Nash ever go to the Western Conference Final, or did Kobe just kind of derail that? I know Charles Barkley
go to it.
Went to Western Conference Finals. Let's look that up.
I want to say, wasn't it the Suns and Heat one time?
When?
I want to say like 2001, maybe.
Who won the championship in 2001? The Lakers? They won it.
I think so. They won it back to back, didn't they?
Yeah, 01, 02, 2000, 01, 02, right?
I think so. Because 99, I think it was
2010 was the last time they made the Western Conference Finals.
2010?
The last time they were in the finals were
the Western Conference Finals, okay.
Yeah, the Western Conference Finals was 2010 against the Lakers, okay? That was the Lamar Odom, Pau Gasol Lakers. Yep, because Shaq was gone. So.
Okay, the last time the Suns were in the finals was against Chicago Bulls in 93.
Yep, Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley. So, yeah, the Suns haven't been to the finals since 93. Wow. That would be amazing, right?
They finally have something they can be cheering about.
That would be awesome if Phoenix got to the finals and Chris Paul got to the NBA finals. Wouldn't that be a joy to watch?
That would be. Do you say, okay, let's just go ahead and go there. If they win it all, is Chris Paul retiring?
No, he still has too much left.
But do you not want to go out
on top? But do you want to go out on top, or do you want to go out? Because he could go out on his own terms, I think, still. I think he has another 2 or 3 years he wants to play, I think. He's on his plant-based diet, so, you never know. He's dunking in all-star games now. Hey, he's still performing. I think Chris Paul's still performing at a great level. Long as he stays healthy.
He was in the run for MVP. He was up there 4, 5, 6 plays pretty much off and on the whole time.
Mm-hmm. He made an all-NBA. Third team all-NBA or second? Third?
Wherever it was, he was deserving. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, he made an all-NBA team. So Chris Paul still has it. And he's with these young guns and these young legs, and they've got him just. And
you can. Well, that's going to sound bad. Let me rephrase this. I can tell, like when you play with younger guys, you feel younger. Just for a little bit. You play younger because I didn't want to call you old, so I changed it.
I know I'm older. I played with younger guys. What was that, yesterday? Because I didn't go to the gym today because I was too busy. Yesterday, I played with younger guys, and I out-jumped a 6'1" guy, and I felt great. I said, where the heck did that come from? I don't know where that spring came from. I have no clue, Michael. I have not been doing I've been doing leg workout, but I haven't been lifting with my legs, just more of agility. I just jumped up, and I was like,
I can tell you exactly where this came from. Are you ready for this? It
Yes.
came from rxhemp.com
Oh my
with your
goodness.
new CBD creams that you just got in the mail maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
And I know you use that promo code RXHemp/USN to get your 15% off your first order, or actually any order.
Yeah.
So using that, you could tell a difference. Your muscles are relaxing. They have their time to recover. You don't have the knee pains anymore. It helps with great workouts. So guys, if you're still listening to us, we're an hour, 24 minutes into this.
Yes.
Go to rxhemp.com, use promo code RXHemp slash USN, so you could be jumping with the 6'1" guys.
Bam.
That one was pretty good. That was good, wasn't it?
That was goat-like. That was very goat-like.
Ooh, goat-like.
Yes, goat-like, Michael. Yeah, you got the beard to match. I mean, it's your anniversary.
Wow, did you say I look like a goat?
No, you got the beard because the beard is nice.
Okay.
You know, I like your beard. I always talk about how much I like your beard. No.
Thanks.
It's your anniversary too.
Thank
your
you.
son is an All-American in soccer. We're just going to claim that right now. You're riding high, Michael.
Life sucks.
You're riding high, Michael. I like that though. I like that I was able to feel that way. I haven't felt that way in a long time, and I don't know where it came from.
I'm obviously a big guy. You could tell I'm broad-shouldered here. But guys, you all have heard me say this. I'm a spiritual guy, a Christian. I go to church as much as I can. After our Wednesday night church, and some of these young guys, teenagers, junior high and high school boys will grab a ball and go to our gym that we have and play and shoot around. So I always would triple threat this one guy up. And he's an athletic guy, but he's not developed his coordination skills yet as well. And I will always jab him a couple times, pump fake, and then I'll actually take the ball out wide like I'm about to penetrate, but I'll take it between my legs, come back for a jump shot. And when he always bites on it, and then I act like I'm going again and make him do a 360, or he falls almost every time, like he bites it every time. So we've got an 8-foot goal in there too for the little kids playing. And he was coming up and he was trying to do some dunks and he was joking and all this stuff. I said, okay, I'm gonna challenge you here. And he came up and he's got some springs. Like he's jumping pretty high. He's probably, I want to say he's 17, maybe 15 to 17 range. And he comes up and I timed it perfectly and I blocked it on him. He went, "What? How did you do that?" And I just walked away. I was like, man, this 300 plus guy just blocked this teenager. I'm not even going to act like anything else. I'm leaving and going home. It was phenomenal. I was like, man, now my knees, I need that rxhemp.com website so I can get that stuff. rxhemp/USN.
Oh man. And it comes out of nowhere. Like when you get older, your springs and your bounce come out of nowhere. Chris Paul, he has a spring to him. I bet he was like, what? Where is this coming from? But he changed his diet in OKC. Became healthier. He talked about that. He was very healthy at OKC. I don't think he missed games in OKC. He's been very healthy here for the Phoenix Suns. Mm-hmm. And he said it's all due to his diet, and he has like a new workout regimen and things like that. So I think Chris Paul can probably play 2 or 3 more years and walk out on his own terms. If he wins a title this year, he wins the title this year, right? I don't think it will diminish his career if he continued to play. I think it would only help his career because he's going to get some stats and get the numbers. But he's one of those pure point guards, one of those few pure point guards we have left in the NBA. Because a lot of point guards now are scoring the basketball at a higher clip. But he does so much to your team. He brings so much to Phoenix that Monty Williams trusts him. Monty Williams coached him when he was in New Orleans as a rookie. They have their relationship. They've built their relationship. He's mentoring Cameron Payne. Cameron Payne looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
He's mentoring Devin Booker. He's showing these younger players.
Payne was almost a flop in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like he had some hype coming in, and now his name is recognizable again.
Mm-hmm. When you say Campaign, you know who Campaign is. He's not just Russell Westbrook's dance partner. He can play some ball. I mean, OKC, that's all you saw. I was like, Cam. He was hitting the side of the backboard at OKC. Then he gets traded, and the Chicago Bulls was like, we knew he wasn't an NBA player after the first practice. He bounces around G League overseas. Monty Williams calls him up because Monty Williams coached him in OKC now. Calls him up and say, hey, Campaign, come play in the bubble. Campaign said, I'm on my way. He shows out in the bubble, plays extremely well. They said, okay, we're going to keep you next season, Campaign. And he has played extremely well for Phoenix this season. He gets to the playoffs and the man is balling. He is balling. He is taking advantage of his opportunity, and I, for one, love a great underdog story.
Oh,
And
definitely. Those are
he's
the
left-handed.
greatest.
Yeah.
The best story part right there. I need to check out Booker's stats. Let's see here. 8 for 22. Much better. I think last game, well, no, not too much better.
Not too much better, but he scored in the 20s. But he fouled out.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know,
yeah. I mean, he shot 11 free throws and made 9 of them, so that helps a little bit. 0 from 5 from three-point line. Chris Paul 0 for 3 as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, still not shooting the best.
Yeah.
But, you know, Ayton had 19 points, Booker 25, Chris Paul 18, and that's really it. No one else is in double digits that I see here. But, of course, the game was 84-80, so it's reminding everyone of that. So, Bubble Booker showed back up today? I'm gonna say yes, but I'm not really buying into it. Yeah. And then on the other side, you got Paul George, 5 of 20, Reggie Jackson, 8 of 24. See here, Paul George, 23 points, Jackson, 20. Zoo had 13, and then Mann also had 12 off the bench. Other than that, that's it as well.
They just struggled. They struggled shooting the ball. Both teams did.
Let's see here. Can I check stats from both teams? I know I can online, but I don't know if I can.
You have the ESPN app? Just click on the ESPN app.
You know, I don't even have the ESPN.
What?
I love Bleacher Report. I can't help it.
Understandable.
Well, I hadn't deleted it. Let's see here.
All right, I got the box score from both teams. And I can tell you exactly what they shot. Phoenix shot 20% from the three-point line, shot 36% from the field. Clippers shot 16% from the three-point line and shot 32% from the field. Free throws. Oh, Phoenix had 59 rebounds. Clippers had, LA had 51. The Phoenix had 16 assists. Clippers had 13. Personal fouls were 19 for the Clippers and 27 for Phoenix. So Clippers got that home whistle. They definitely got the home whistle.
Yeah.
Devin Booker fouled out. Let's see. Devin Booker had 6.
When's the last time that your star player, and of course Chris Paul is probably the better star this year, but Booker's still right there. I'm going to say 1A, 1B, and the player foul out. You know, when's the last time that's happened?
In a playoff game? They allowed it to happen? In a pivotal game? 4? Yeah. Because, the Clippers could not lose this game? That's a good question. That's a great question. I really think that it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. And that much because the referees don't want to dictate the game. And they want to keep those stars in. But Devin Booker did foul out on the road. Would he foul out in Phoenix? Probably not. But foul out on the road? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But it's just great to see Phoenix good. I like it. I like it for the NBA. I like when teams haven't been good in a while become good again. Like the Knicks. The Knicks haven't been good in a while. Mm-hmm. And now they're good again. The Hawks they got Trae Young, and he set a culture there with the Hawks, and he has a certain type of swag, and everybody buys into it. Small market teams, Milwaukee.
Yeah, a lot of people say if we don't have Brooklyn, if we don't have the Lakers in the finals, the ratings are going to be the lowest ever. I'm probably more interested in this playoffs because of the teams that are there. Like you don't get to see them, like even in the season. Thank you, Silver. But anyways, it's interesting to see the teams that we don't get to see finally being a part of a system that works. Like these are process teams. We get to trust the process. The only thing they made a move and got Chris Paul. The Bucks made a move and got Drew Holiday. The Hawks fired their coach. That's the move they made. So, I mean, that's a legit team there. The Clippers, I would say, would probably be the most team that is not farmhouse teamed.
Yeah.
And they're down 3-1 now.
But they've never been to the Western
Conference. They've never won.
And they've never won a final. I mean, and we say that, and it's just like, wow, we're going to have a first-time somebody's gonna win their first title, whether it be, well, I can't say that because
in the
Kawhi Leonard,
NBA, because
Kawhi Leonard has a title.
you're saying player.
Yeah. So it will be somebody on the Suns. It'd be their first time winning a title. Milwaukee, first time winning a title. I'm thinking about rosters. And the Hawks, first time winning a title. I'm thinking about rosters.
Other than Dwight Howard, but
thinking about the roster for the Hawks. Yes, it'd be their first time. Anybody on the Hawks hasn't won a title.
Other than Dwight Howard, right?
Dwight Howard plays for Philly.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
He's from Atlanta.
It didn't work out when he was in Atlanta.
No, it did not.
Yeah.
So all these players, except for the Clippers, have a first-time title in the NBA. And I, for one, love it. I didn't know how I felt.
Breath of fresh air.
I didn't know how I felt about it, Michael. Honestly, I did not know. I was like, I don't know. And we talked about this on Count the Bucket. Would the ratings dip if it wasn't the Philly, or if it wasn't Brooklyn, if it wasn't one of the LA teams? Because it could still be the Clippers.
It's not going to be.
I think they're going to close it out in 5. But it could still, we could say this. Okay, the Clippers are still in a series, so it could still be the Clippers. But the Clippers are not the Lakers. Like, you know what I mean? They're not the Lakers. Right. So how sexy will the NBA Finals be? I think that the people are tired of seeing the same people. If it's the Hawks in Phoenix, all those ratings I think will be through the roof.
Yes.
But you get Trae Young and Devin Booker.
Yes.
Woo!
The newer version of Steph Curry, who is still pretty young, don't get me wrong, and the newer version of what everyone's saying now of Kobe Bryant, which I think is not yet there. But
his footwork, he was his mentor. It looks like him and Tatum mirror Kobe Bryant's game. If you watch Kobe and you watch Jason Tatum and Devin Booker, you're like, what? Not exactly how Kobe mirrored Michael, not to that exact extent. I know you've seen that video on YouTube or Twitter, how they mirrored the moves are mirrored. But the way that those two young players play and the footwork and the intensity on offense and how they take shots, very Kobe-like. Very, very, very Kobe-like. And both of those players were very close to Kobe Bryant. I bet you any amount of money, if Devin Booker wins the NBA title, he's going to dedicate that to Kobe Bryant. I bet.
Oh, definitely.
I bet that. All right, let's move to the East. We talked about Ice Trae. Woo, is it gonna get cold in Atlanta? Are we gonna have some Ice Trae in Atlanta, man? Are we? Are we gonna have it in Atlanta? Will Chris Middleton continue to struggle? Oh boy.
Poor Chris.
Yeah, Drew Holiday's play well. And we want to be on Chris Middleton's side, but Corey just lights him up in the chat and says he's not a top.
He's trash.
He's trash. But he struggled. He has struggled. Go ahead, Michael.
I probably want the Bucks to win it over everyone, just so Corey can't say Chris Middleton is trash anymore. I mean, poor guy. Chris Middleton. I mean, he has been a solid player all year, all past 2 years, really. He's been a good number 2 guy. He can't be a 1. He's not a 1. He's been a good number 2. But in today's time, you can't win on just 2 stars. Thank goodness they were smart and went out and got Drew Holiday, upgraded from Eric Bledsoe last year.
And PJ Tucker has been a difference because they don't win that series. Oh, yeah. They don't win that series against, I think Brooklyn sweeps them in 4 games if they don't have PJ Tucker.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Gonna guard Kevin
just
Durant?
From defense.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I tell you this. Let me back off while I'm stuttering there. I would have said the Hawks are the hot team here, and they're going to be winning this in 6. Ooh. After what we've seen from the last game of seeing how the Bucks just flat out blew them out, I feel like the Bucks has got the big advantage here, and I feel like the Bucks are going to come out now. But that's how we are as media. It's hot or cold. It doesn't matter what's going on. Mm-hmm. I mean, even thinking the Suns, they were up 2-0, and then they lost 1 game. And everyone's like, "Oh, the Clippers are finally showing up. They are probably going to win it now." And like, they're down 1 game. How are they going to win it? And then we have tonight. So now it's going to be in 5. So I feel like the edge right now is the Bucks. I feel like the defense's adjustments that they made really was very evident in that game, and I feel like they locked them up way better than what anyone thought they would. So it's going to be hard for the Hawks to make improving adjustments to counter what's going on here, and that's a very blunt or a plain answer there. But I feel like what the Bucks did on defense is it's going to show that they can't be stopped.
I think the adjustments Bud made giving Bobby Portis more minutes. Also using Brook Lopez correctly. I don't think that the Hawks exploited Brook Lopez in that pick and roll like they should have, like they did in game one. And then Forbes getting more minutes as well. I like Bobby Portis. I like Forbes. They both bring great energy off the bench. I was huge on Bobby Portis in college. I was huge on Forbes in
Was it
San
Arkansas
Antonio.
or Alabama? I want to say it's Alabama.
Bama. I want to say it's Bama. I was big on him. I was like, yeah, Bobby Portis. I like Bobby Portis, but it didn't work out in the places he went to. But now it's working out with the Bucks, and I'm happy to see that. Forbes was a San Antonio guy. I've been following him. He can shoot the ball. He plays pretty good defense. They lost DiVincenzo early in the playoffs, so they needed somebody else to step up. Atlanta, Bogey's not right. We know Bogey's knee is messed up, but he's out there giving it what he has. Kevin Huerter's played pretty decent. John Collins is going to get paid. He's played pretty decent. Clint Capella, oh my goodness, he frustrates me at times. He gives me 19 rebounds, which is great. I just want him to give me a little bit more on offense, just a little bit more on offense to help out Trae Young, catch the ball a little bit more. His hands sometimes are hard and sometimes they're soft. You just kind of never know what you're going to get with Clint Capella in his hands. But it's very difficult for me to say Atlanta loses 2 at home. It'd be easier for me to say that Atlanta splits at home.
Right.
Easy. It's also very difficult for me to say Milwaukee loses 2 in Atlanta. I think the best scenario is Atlanta splits. I think that's a good scenario to look at for me personally.
So who you got winning?
Game 3, I got Atlanta winning game 3.
Game 3, what about the series?
I can't call that yet. I can't call it,
you got to.
Series.
This is what we're paid to do, and we're not paid. You got to.
I got to call the series now? 2 games in? Oh, goodness, Michael.
And then after the next game, we'll recall it.
Oh, that's what we're doing? We're going to recall it?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to take this game by game. I wasn't prepared to call it every show.
No. No.
Okay. I'm going to say Milwaukee.
Are you sure? Because your attitude tells me you don't even trust yourself. But I agree with you. I think Milwaukee, as of right now, looks to be the favorite team in this. I mean, you don't beat a team by 20-some points. But
they got beat by almost 50 in Brooklyn, and they came back and won that series. So it's.
But there were some injuries that happened afterwards.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's true. I just, for now, I'm going to say Milwaukee because I'm going to put my trust in Giannis. Chris Middleton cannot struggle in Atlanta. If Chris Middleton struggles in Atlanta, they will not win a game in Atlanta because Atlanta will be at home. You can afford to struggle at home because you got that home crowd, you got that energy. Players are comfortable at home role players are more comfortable at home. But you cannot struggle on the road 2 games in a row, Chris Middleton. You just cannot. And I think he knows that. Chris Middleton knows that. So I think they split in Atlanta, and it goes back 2-2.
Now, looking at the stats from the last game on Friday, or yesterday, I guess, I mean, Middleton had 15 points on just 6 of 13 shooting. I mean, it was an okay game, right?
Yeah, it was okay, but game 1, he was atrocious.
Well, and they lost.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah,
okay.
He can't struggle in Atlanta. Because at home, you can get away with it, right? But even though Atlanta came back and won that game, the Bucks couldn't miss from outside at home in game 2. They could not miss.
Oh, wow.
You see what they shot from 3-point line?
Well, the game on Wednesday, I mean, he still had 15 points, but he was 6 of 23 and 0 from 9.
Exactly.
Or 0 of 9 of 3-point line.
Exactly.
Wow.
And he cannot do that in Atlanta. But I think he knows that. He knows that, right, Michael? He knows, hey, Middleton, he's talking to himself like, hey, guy, I can't do this on the road. Giannis will be okay. Jrue Holiday's been playing very well, very consistent. But what is Brook Lopez going to give me? What is Cottington going to give me? PJ Tucker is who he is, right? What is Bobby Portis going to give me? What is Forbes going to give me? Those role players are very important pieces on the road. Can your game travel? Can your game travel on the road to Atlanta? It's going to be a great environment there. Trae Young's going to be
Oh,
feeding
yeah.
off their crowd in Atlanta. Those other players around him will be feeding off their crowd. John Collins has played well. Herder's played well. Bogey, give me something. I know your knee is messed up, but Bogey, please give me something. Give me something,
yeah.
Bogey. And when I say Bogey, guys, I mean Bogdanovich. Give me something. Just something you can give me at home. I think he'll be hyped and excited. But who do you have for game 3?
Game 3, you get to the hype so easy, and that's what's so hard as fans. And we just see stuff like, I'm looking here, Atlanta's record's 25-11 at home. So, I mean, they play good at home.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing some of this other things go on, I'm like, well, Atlanta's got this. But it's 63%, even from the betting perspective, that Milwaukee's going to win, or at least by 4 points. So, again, being blown out like they did at their home court blowing the team out. Milwaukee blew them out at home. I don't think it's going to be anything like that, but I'm actually going to go ahead and try to be bold and say that Milwaukee's going to win this game 3. They got momentum, but it can always be stopped when you go home.
Yeah. I'm going to stick with Atlanta. Now, Milwaukee could win game 4, but I'm going to stick with Atlanta.
You think game 3?
I think Atlanta wins game 3.
I don't think you're going to be wrong. I mean, I can understand where you're coming from on it, obviously. But I just feel like, I mean, you held Atlanta to 91 points, which is crazy to even say that's holding them to anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Bogey's hurt, like you said. He only played 18 minutes on Friday. I don't think he's going to be playing much more minutes than that. So, I mean, you have to have somebody else step up. Gally, is he going to step up and be something for him?
Yep. Gallo could.
Yeah.
Gallo could step up and do something for him. I also think that Lou Williams is at home. Lemon Pepper Lou.
Mm-hmm. Get them chicken wings first.
Yeah, I think Lemon Pepper Lou shows up. So I'm going to pick Atlanta. Now for the series, I'm going to go Milwaukee. That could change. I don't think Milwaukee can afford to go down 3-1 to Atlanta. Like I said, I think they'll split, but I could be wrong because I said the Clippers had to split.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost. Yeah, I said the Clippers had to split too, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. So this is going to be very tough to come down 3-1 for the Clippers. And for Atlanta, you tied up 1-1. Milwaukee, you're tied up 1-1. You're going back to Atlanta. Atlanta has to feel good about themselves, don't you think? I think Atlanta has to feel good about themselves.
I mean, after losing by 30 points, do you feel good?
Yeah, because you're going home. If you were going back to Milwaukee, I'd be like, oh,
okay,
we're out.
Yeah.
At least you know you're going
I agree
home,
with you on that point.
Sleep in your own bed and, eat your favorite food. And that's just that comfort at home. Those role players play better at home. So,
and I think this team has such a persona on themselves. I think they've already forgot this game and they're going straight into it with so much charisma.
Yeah. Because you got blown out. You got blown out, but you're still tied 1-1, right? Mm-hmm. You still tied 1-1 and you got blown out. So I will say I think moving in a positive direction.
I think if Milwaukee wins one game out of the next 2, it's a win for them. Obviously, that was the most dumbest line.
No, you say what you feel.
If they win one, it's a win for them. We know what I'm trying to say on that. Like, they got to steal one here, and I think if they steal one, it possibly could be over.
Because you get that home court back if you steal one, but if you lose 2, you lose that home court. So, yeah, you got to get one if you're Milwaukee. All right, we're gonna switch gears. Last thing of the night. KD's Twitter fingers.
Yes.
Kevin Durant. I don't think this was his burner. I think this was Kevin Durant. Now he does admit when it's his burner and when it's not his burner. But I personally think this was KD. I think this was KD firing back. I think KD just gets tired of people talking about him. And Scottie Pippen, they were making the comparisons to KD and LeBron after KD's huge performance. Of course, they're going to ask Scottie Pippen about it, right? He's an analyst. He's on the jump a lot.
Right.
They're going to ask him about, LeBron.
I called it the jump shot earlier instead of the jump. I'm so sorry.
You're okay, Michael. They're going to ask him questions about certain subjects. And I don't think this is just my opinion. I don't compare KD and LeBron because I think they're two different types of players. It's like I don't compare LeBron and Jordan because they're two different types of players. But KD probably felt a certain way because he's been hearing it, because he has been somewhat compared to LeBron because of their 1A and 1B in the NBA. When you talk about best players, LeBron goes about it in a different way than Kevin Durant does. And that's what makes them both unique in their own ways. LeBron can't score the basketball like Kevin Durant can, but Kevin Durant can't be the facilitator that LeBron can. So they're two different players, in my opinion, just two different types of players. But Scottie Pippen compared them. KD didn't like it, so KD fired back. Michael, how did you feel about KD's Twitter fingers? How do you feel about him overall? Because he has them. And they are a joy to watch. It's never a dull moment on Kevin Durant's Twitter. Let me tell you that right now. He's got time. Let me tell you that.
I feel like Kevin Durant has his feelings on his sleeves. And he is, especially right now, biting. I mean, I don't even know what the analogy to use on this. I feel like he's just anxious. He has all this free time where he's looking into his phone because he ain't got anything going on right now, and he can see all this stuff, so he's answering back. I think it was a fair assessment from Scottie Pippen. I don't think it was more of a, hey, back in my day, we would have done this kind of thing. I think it was just him as an analyst really saying what he should have. And Kevin Durant, I think, honestly, just got his feelings hurt and had to fire back. To me, just let it go, man. He's doing his job. Like, Scottie Pippen was literally trying to do what he's supposed to do. And I feel like he got, trying to say as nice as I can, I think he's being a little baby.
Now, Kevin Durant has had his moments, right? Mm-hmm. I just think he trolls on Twitter a lot, but I think a lot of that comes from his heart. He said something to Jackie McMullen because Jackie McMullen has said something about him wanting to win titles in Brooklyn, I think. I'm paraphrasing here, guys. And he said, me and Jackie Mullen are not tight like that for her to know how I feel about my time in Brooklyn. And that makes sense because these journalists do step out their box sometimes. Like, they do kind of go off the realm and say, Kevin Durant said this. And Kevin Durant was like, I ain't never said that. And I think Kevin Durant's the type of person, if he said it, he's going to say he said it. Because he doesn't have a problem telling you that he said something on Twitter. Like, yeah, I have a burner. He admitted to having a burner. How many people admit to having a burner account, Michael? 0.
I don't have one.
I don't either. I just have simply me _AV on Twitter. That's it. So Kevin Durant admits to having a burner. So if Kevin Durant says something, he's going to stand by that. He's going to say, yeah, I said that. So when people are saying things about Kevin Durant and it's not true, he's coming out saying that's not true. Mm-hmm. Or he's saying, as a journalist, that conversation is private. You should keep that conversation between us. It shouldn't be public. But journalists are so quick. Some of them are so quick for that hot topic that they're releasing things they shouldn't release, and they're having loose lips. And Kevin Durant is just not here for it. Now, for the trolling, I laugh at it because I think it's funny. But I think social media is all entertainment anyway, and it's hilarious. But if somebody is saying something about you and that you know that you didn't say that to them, or you don't have the type of relationship with them for them to say that about you, then I understand you clapping back, right? So if they made it social, then you make it social. But his Twitter fingers are hilarious.
I mean, all I want to say is, Kevin Durant, please come on the show so we can talk and really know why you do this. And I know Andrew Williams, who's in our Unwrapped Sports Network, used to be a co-host and just got tied up with different things. He made a comment to Kevin Durant probably back when he was with OKC, and Kevin Durant fired back at him. Mm-hmm. And he was like, they had this big beef for a 30-second. So Kevin Durant's going to respond to you pretty much. If you come at him, he's, as they say, if you come at him, trying to do that, I mean, he's going to answer back. Like, he's going to defend himself. I'm for it to a certain extent, but I feel like sometimes you got to just let it go. And I feel like sometimes us as fans and us as media, we've just, and I said this earlier, we've kind of got a big stick just kind of poking at the snake, trying to get a reaction from it. So, man, I'm not trying to say hush and not talk, because that's obviously just sounds like a prick move by me. But fight your battles. Fight your battles. Like, some things you just got to say, okay, I'm not going to take that personal. If you do take it personal, Put it on screenshot that. Keep it for your motivation.
Which he probably does. Get a
Oh,
t-shirt.
definitely.
Get a t-shirt made. Like John
T-shirt.
Collins had a t-shirt made of him dunking on Joel Embiid. DeAndre Ayton had a t-shirt of Devin Booker's broken nose today. So I think that's great. Put on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Put on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt.
Make some money. I mean, brand and market it. Hey, I
There
like
we go.
it. I like it. All right, guys, that is it for Count the Bucket. But before we get out of here, we're going to tell you how to get some merch. Like
there we go.
Yeah, we're going to show you how to get some of that merch.
Put it on a shirt or buy a shirt.
Or buy a shirt. Michael has his logo on a shirt. Amber has her logo on a shirt. We're going to show you that in a minute. Check out teespring.com/stores/unwrapped. You remember when we talked about earlier in the show on the Patreon? If you become part of the Patreon, you get discount on these beautiful, wonderful items. We got OG gear. We got new label gear. We got some Friends gear. It's new label. We got some, this is OG labels, of course. LeBron fans, here you go. Here you go for your LeBron fans out there. I know, Michael, don't do it. Some more new label gear, some more new label gear, more new label gear. Here we go. Live lineups. We got Fights Unwrapped. We got Gen Z. The Fourth Man Pod. The Big Three is coming back. What is this, Michael? What do we have?
The People's XFL Show.
Yes, sir. Ladies first. Isn't that beautiful? Yes. It's
you
ladies
have the
first.
best logo.
Thank you, Michael. That means so much. I do like the Prop Bros logo. I love the Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
I love their logo. Saturday Standouts is now with Caleb and Ethan. It is now with Caleb and Ethan. They're probably going to get a new logo, I think. I'm not quite sure. Michael, go ahead and shout yourself out, man. Go ahead and do it.
Backstop Banter. Look at that mask and look at that shirt. I have them both, and I will be straight up honest with you. I have the shirt in black, and I love the way it feels. It's a little big, and I like it. Please buy that and show your support to that show. It's on every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit later depending on my work schedule, but at least 10 o'clock every Thursday night. Boom.
All right, there you go. That's a good plug-in. We got Business Casual Basketball with Aaron, Keeping It Blunt, of course, the Prop Bros, and the Long Ball Lounge with Jesse. So, guys, check this out, teespring.com/store/unwrapped. We have merch. We want to market ourselves too. We want to look good when we're going live, and we want to make some money. All right, guys, that is it for Michael and I. Michael, do you have anything that you want to talk about or plug in before we end the show?
Just follow me on Twitter, MDLawson00. That's also my Instagram. That's my TikTok. That's my SportsMe app. As we've kind of went away from talking so much about it, but just follow me on everything you can. Check out some of my articles I've gotten written up from our baseball department. Done some power rankings. I'm probably going to do another one at the beginning or midweek next week. Try to do it every other week. Check me out on all that stuff. Again, Backstop Banter, Count the Bucket every Saturday night, 10 p.m.-ish. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, that's all the plugs I've really got anymore. We're doing such a good job, we don't have to plug ourselves so much, you know?
Yeah, we are. And you can follow me on Twitter at simplyme_AV. You click the link in my bio, and it has my link tree with everything that I do. Bam.
There you go.
There we go. And for Michael and for Amber, we will see you next week.